morning. How are you doing? This is Cassandra Williams from Educational Innovation 360. I'm going to try this. This is going to be a 6-month stint. So this is Cassandra's capsule, which is really going to dive into some of the things that we are facing in the school, as well as introduction to like what can we learn, what can we take away. It's going to be a quick 15-minute segment. So I hope you enjoy. My goal, right, for this is to hope to spark ideas, take action, and hopefully see results, and DM me and let me know how it's going. So this session is about creating a positive school culture, thinking of what are some practical ideas you could do today to light the ignition. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy. So one of the big things is talking about really cultivating trust. What are you doing to create trust? Trustful relationships, thinking about regular check-ins with your team. What are we doing for staff gatherings, or is it just Friday Gene Day? All right, so thinking about bowling, bringing in masseuse from the community. What are your celebrations that are traditional for your school that will help you engage with your staff and your team? And then open door policy. Now with Zoom and with all these online platforms, you can be open a certain period of the day online. So what are you doing to have coffee time with your team? Just think outside the box when it comes to creating these spaces for your teams. Always say, with your vision and your goal that is shared with your team, find ways to incorporate them through the years. And that takes planning now for the fall. So, of course, you're taking your mission or your vision and you're taking them and getting input. And with their input, you're documenting at the beginning of the year so you can kind of infuse the inputs and then shout them out when you've added them in through the year. Like, hey, this came from Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones said we should think about having a break downtime. So today I hired a lot of subs. You guys get an hour extra of prep time just so we can best support you because we know you are working hard. Again, try to think about your goals and what is your vision using data. And then, of course, celebrate your wins. I don't say this enough, but what are we doing to shout out our teachers when great things are happening? And I like to do this at the beginning of the year. And then I like to identify people, survey, take on my team, and then write some of the great things down that they do on the everyday basis. And then drop the nuggets out throughout the year. That way, everybody gets to be rewarded. Everybody gets to be celebrated. That way, we know what came from who and then how we can celebrate each other. Okay. Promoting continuous learning. That's what we do at EI360, professional development, but really thinking about what are your peer observation programs? How are you taking that maybe long-term sub and saying, you know, you're just doing a great job. I really want you to think about teaching. What are we doing to promote those new people that come to our building? And then foster ongoing support and feedback. Like I said, if you're not walking in those classrooms at least every other day, then the teacher really doesn't know that you really care. Professional development based on whatever the theme is. If you're doing reading, if you're doing math, if you're doing project-based learning, try to infuse those into the different content areas and differentiate PD. It doesn't hurt to have different people in different areas presenting on different topics. And then if we can record those, we can upload them in case somebody missed it. Teacher-led workshops. I'm a big empowerment of teacher-led workshops, but I'm also a proponent of outside support. Many times when we keep only our teachers or only our resources promoting what we do, we miss the opportunity in learning different things from others. So think about that as well. Enhancing voice. I love when we talk about student voice. I can't say this enough. How are we highlighting student voice and making them a part of the culture, the thick fabric that our very school believes in? Really thinking about that. So student advocacy councils, what are we doing to select diverse representation? I remember at one school, they were doing videos and actually the teacher was given, well, the student had their iPad and they would capture exciting moments that were happening in their school through their lens that they thought were wonderful and then putting it on our social media. And of course, before it posts, somebody their team lead was reviewing it to actually post it. And they were able to get more students on most of their platforms, really thinking about how do we highlight student voice? How do we survey and implement the survey strategically throughout our school? And then student-led events. What does it hurt to have students come and create maybe 4 to 5 events for the year and thinking about how that rolls out? That way you have the year to plan it, prepare, even have the students be involved in like sponsorship opportunities and activities. I think that is a great idea. Of course, I'm a big proponent of communities. I hope you are too, but really thinking about parents and parent association, parent led, or even if you think that whole, well, I don't know if I can do this myself. What is your third party vendors that you're doing to support the parent community connection? Because in a lot of schools I go to, I see this is the part where we kind of like things are just not together. So we don't have full transparency communication with the parents. We don't have any connections with our local businesses, or we may have connections and partnerships have been set up, but we haven't really brought them in to become sponsors of some of our student-led programs, right? This is not a strategic move on our part, but we need to think deeply about what it takes to really involve community with community events, community support. I even went to one school, they had like a, what was it, like a garage sale on community property, really thinking about what do I have in my house, what can I sell, what can I barter, right? Supporting and nurturing that relationship is crucial to our team. So, okay, well-being. Social emotional learning is big for me, and as well as the well-being of our teachers. How are they doing? What do you offer for them to provide supports for their mental health? Maybe you bring in people, maybe you have volunteer vendors, maybe you get gift cards from local areas to where teachers can get therapy sessions on site. So think about what are your dedicated Zen spaces. And if you say the teacher's lounge, I'm challenging you to think of another space, or to even decorate it in a Zen, or to have, music, food, maybe a bar to where they have little tacos. Maybe you make breakfast for them one day. Maybe you have a flexible day scheduling, like where you bring in subs or you bring in the aides, or you swap classes, right? So thinking of ways to support work-life balance. Or maybe you think of like, hey, testing day. With testing day, we kind of make small groups. Maybe you have a small group day where you have extra people on hand to where we're supporting our teachers and our team and our staff. Okay, so that was pretty much my time, right? I wanted to make it quick, like Cassandra's. I was going over names like Fast Friday, but I think I'm going to be settled on Cassandra's capsule, right? You get a dose of information where you can take and digest and hopefully implement one of these strategies, because I want to see your community become positive. So here are some key takeaways or key thoughts. Remember to start small. Try to get some people on the board to help you carry out some of these ideas, somebody with passion, somebody that you know that will support these ideas as well. And of course, this idea doesn't always have to come from you. And then choose one focus area per quarter. Maybe you celebrate these wins, these momentum successes, model the behavior you want to see. So if we are a collaborative community and we all do the work, maybe if there's a spill in the hall, you get down on your knees and you wipe the spill as you're calling the custodian, right? Be a participant in the space and model the behavior you want to see. And then, of course, assess is this working? One of the things that we work with teams that have struggled is getting on the same pace when it comes to data. Many times our data is in this maybe system, and then the counselor's data is in this system, and then the teacher's feedback data on the student is in this system. Really thinking about a system that we all can use to kind of collaborate, connect, and to talk about all the pieces, all the components, but we can all be on the same page. So these like conversations are not hidden in the spaces, and these discussions about students are not hitting in the spaces, because we all have access to our student, our data, and our time. I hope these tips help. I hope this was very informational. Next week, for Friday, Cassandra's Capsules, sponsored by Educational Innovation 360, is going to be, what is the science of effective feedback? And I hope you definitely tune in, because I really want to see what are some things that you're doing to transform your school. This was sponsored by, of course, Educational Innovation 360, but also SNAP. SNAP, which is a travel system for the future. Talk to you later. Cassandra signing out. Bye.